I do not have Alien Hominid, the original GameCube one I had, anymore. I got my ass beat many times as a kid, and my parents would sell all my video games every time. They were super pissed at me. So that was definitely pawned off a long time ago, after I got in a lot of trouble at some point. I do remember that, like, the Alien Hominid case I had, I think my grandpa, like, didn't check it when he bought it, and, like, that's... I know that, like, my family definitely wouldn't have liked the blood and stuff. That's why I put in Naughtyness into FNF, and we really need to do better to update that, because, like, as a kid, because I could turn blood off, I could play the game without getting in trouble, and I would just turn blood on when nobody was around. And like for the game case, I took scissors and I cut out, because on the game case it shows like all him stabbing people and blood shooting out. I cut with scissors all those bits off the game case so they wouldn't see that. So like, yeah, I really appreciate that they did that, and I need to do a much better job, probably even before the update comes out, to like make sure that Naughtyness actually works, and like can change the line of like Tankman saying cunt to something else, and take out blood and all the other stuff, so that way, just like me as a kid, other people can play it and not get their asses beat. Honestly, my mom was like a real stickler for me only playing T-rated games once I was a teenager and not like M-rated games. So I feel like even for that, even for like teenagers who have like overprotective parents who like just can't get past the all-seeing eye, I would like for Naughtyness to work to help them out too, not just like 5-year-olds who definitely probably shouldn't be playing Friday Night Funkin'. Well, man, the alt lines. I have an alt line from Jeff for that already. Well, not for the cunt one, I'll have to think of that. The You Little Runts is actually a pretty good stand-in. The Tankman stuff I have now is so like he's like, well, if it isn't your sexually ambiguous, what is it, angry little friend, and he's like, don't you have a school to shoot up? But it, like, that should be changed to where it's like, I think I have an alt line where it's like, well, if it isn't your angry little friend, and he's like, you know, semi-automatics are illegal. Doesn't quite have the same impact, but it still makes me laugh. I think it's better than just skipping the line or beeping it out. That's a nerdier version, not something a mean 40-year-old would say. I don't know, I like that line because there's something about it that feels like PG but really like passive-aggressive. That's honestly exactly something Jeff would say. Just like spiteful, just like so petty and spiteful that like the best comeback they have is just that semi-automatics are like illegal. It's such a... It's one of those things where you're just such a shit eater, you're just such a dumb fuck, that even if you've got nothing mean to say, you can't help but just point out something and be just like a piece of shit about it. So I like that line because of that. I'm sure everybody knows somebody like that. Somebody who's just such a fuck. Such a fuck that they can't help but just say something. Even when they got nothing to say, they can't help but just fucking say something. So that's why I like the semi-automatics line. In defense of the semi-automatics line. The Week 7 FLA has a sensor box in it. It does. It has the uh-oh box in it that I animated in like 5 minutes. Because I wanted to try and get a beep into the level. I edited versions of the lines that had beeps in them just to try and like... Because I want the other lines to be lip synced, but I totally didn't have any more time or energy to do lip syncs. So yeah, I put in the uh-oh sensor bar and made beeped audio, which did make me laugh, but that was just meant to be like a time save, and even then Cam couldn't get like the Naughtyness like thing programmed right or whatever. So I think at this point, just like fuck that. Maybe I'll use it in the future if there's like a line that we can't beep or whatever, but at this point, I think I'll just lip sync the other lines, or get like Breakfast or Ivan to help me animate the other version.